Okay, today one of the most important things that we're going to learn with battery maintenance is keeping your battery connections clean. Battery connections are the most important, one of the most important aspects to a well-kept running vehicle, especially when the weather changes. If you're in your summer months and you're going into the fall months, normally that's the time when you notice changes with your battery, how it operates, how well it conducts electricity. It's rained quite a bit, so corrosion may have may have collected itself onto the connections, the cables, the connectors in the battery, and heat. A lot of heat has taken its toll on the battery. So you really have to keep those connections clean. So with that in mind, you have to either replace your cables, connectors to the battery, or clean them. So today what we're going to do is replace the negative side of the battery. Let's go and do that right now. You got different things to consider that can be affected by the weather. You got sensor connectors. And see, in this case, with my car right here, I've done a lot to this car. A whole lot. Okay, look at my connections here that I've done. That solder, I soldered that with a torch. I use that thick gauge soldering, the kind you use for specific applications like this. Don't ask me exactly what kind, but it's just thicker. And I soldered that with a torch, and I got that result. Okay, now see my battery connector? Look how bad that is. That's all because we have extra air coming in from down here. Because this happened very quickly. This right here. Probably about 2 months this happened, because this all hasn't been here very long. But anyway, my connector and my little my electrical setup here is not very good. That's my negative connection right there from the battery, with wires twisted, speaker wires, and it's going to the negative terminal like this. Yeah, kind of a shoddy job, but when you're putting a car back together, and I guess this is my project car, but it's not exactly project, but it's a tuner car, put it that way. I've been doing a lot of work with it, and so it needs a better ground. And let me explain something to you that I've done with this car also. Nah, I won't get to that. That's not necessary, because this video is about this is a battery charger, by the way, right here. You can buy these at your local Pet Boys, AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts. It's a battery maintainer, actually, and I use that sometimes. But you have to disconnect with any vehicle with a computer in it, like this one. You want to disconnect the car itself, the electrical connections from the battery, and then hook up the battery charger with no car connection to the battery to the charger whatsoever. Why? Because this battery charger puts out pulsating DC. It's not clean. It's not a clean DC power output like a battery is. If you've ever noticed using a power supply like back in the day, and it would have a hum to it, that would be the effect going to this computer if it were receiving that voltage, which is damaging to the circuitry. It's damaging to everything, because it's not meant for a battery charger or anything with the AC ripple effect going to the to its power source. So you want to disconnect this from the battery. Don't have it connected. Move it away, and then connect your battery charger maintainer to the battery. Same thing with any type of battery charger, unless it's one that's microprocess controlled, and they say you can do that, and it's, you know, one that doesn't put out a ripple. Only way I would test that is to connect it to something that can detect a ripple, such as an oscilloscope or something. So anyway, this connector, it's got to come off. It's nasty. It's truly, truly nasty. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go get my tools, and I'm going to go and clean this up because I bought some new connectors, by the way. I got 2 connectors here, and this is by Duralast. This is it's a 4-gauge cable, 4-gauge, and it's actually classified as a switch to starter battery cable. It's just it's got this kind of connector on the end of it, if you can see in the package. I'm gonna open it up here in just a minute. Let me open that up and let you get a good look at that and see exactly what it's all about. Keep your knife with you. It pops open. Now see, these are 4-gauge connectors. This is a 4-gauge connector. It measures, what you need is one that measures in length of about 24 inches. It's a 4-gauge connector, 24 inches long. This is what it looks like, just like this. Got your little plastic strap on it, little band strap. One connector here, this is what I'm going to use this for. One side's going to go to the chassis, and the other side's going to go to the motor, in between where the air filter tube and the head cover valve gasket screw, and there's a big one there, is connected just underneath the valve cover. And that's going to be my ground for the engine, so that the starter gets its power, spark plug gets its power, sensors get their power, the engine has power. Now this is the battery post cable right here from Duralast. It comes from AutoZone's 4-gauge cable. This one is 12 inches long. That's all you need from the battery to the chassis of the car. So it's going to be a very short cable connection. This one looks like this. Anybody can do this. You do not have to have a specialty in any kind of electrical or anything to do this. If you're a woman, do it, okay? Just go ahead and buy it and do it. You can do it. Get your hands dirty or put some gloves on. This is going to be your battery post right here. Now, if your battery post connector, if your battery post connector is dirty, like mine is, if it's dirty like that, you're going to need to go buy some sandpaper. It doesn't matter what kind, as long as it gets the job done. This is a number between number 12 or number 10, 12, or 13 screw on the side right there. So you need a wrench that's a 10, 12, or 13, depending on what kind of car you got. Usually a lot of times is a screw on the other side of the battery post connector. It's going to hold itself in place because look, it's slotted. It's not going to church. You're not going to need 2, you're going to need just 1. A wrench to unscrew that counterclockwise. Take that off, it slides off, and then clean your battery post with sandpaper by spinning it, grabbing it, and spinning the sandpaper around and around with your fingers, back and forth, round and around, like you're twisting it. This is going to go on here, okay? This is also kind of slotted in a certain way. It's got like a, see that groove? See how this part is sort of goes down like a bowl kind of shape? That's going to go down on the battery first, okay? This is the underside that goes down on the battery like that, on the battery post. The one that has a ledge to it, this is the top side, okay? Top side, bottom side. So when you put it on there, it goes something like, you know, that on there like that. This right here is going to connect over here on your chassis. There's paint on the chassis, the body of the car. It has to be scraped off with sandpaper or get a grounder and grind it after you take this bolt up. I'll do that in just a minute. So we found the number 10. Found the number 10. This is going to take this off right here.
You are watching JGR TV.